Hilton Head High School has outperformed the county on the SATs. Property values are down, and that sprinkler malfunction that left the library washed up, well, it's cool we've got the insurance. Sit tight in Hilton Head, your news starts now. Welcome to the Hilton Head News. I'm Kevin Libby. Property values are down across Beaufort County. New numbers show that for the first time, values have decreased in countywide assessments of property values. That's a record that began in 1973. The county is required to recalculate the value of real property every 5 years, meaning that previous county data was based on values assessed before December 12, 2007. Property in southern Beaufort County, and that means you, Hilton Head, have declined most dramatically in the past 5 years. The 2008 banking crisis affected all types of real property, but especially devalued condominiums. That's a property type that's very popular here on Hilton Head Island. The assessments are used to calculate the annual tax obligation for held property, and that's determined by a property's taxable value, the type of the property, and the local tax rate or millage rate. The average SAT score among county high school students jumped 48 points last year. Hilton Head High School students were the only students in the county to average over 500 points on all three sections of the current standardized aptitude test, for an average composite score of 1548 on the 2400-point scale. That score outperformed the state average of 1436 and the national average of 1498. The test is used to determine aptitude for college admission. Currently, almost 4 in 10 persons over 25 living in the county hold a college degree. That's the highest rate of any county in the state of South Carolina. A malfunctioning fire sprinkler that caused thousands in damage last September 17th is believed to be a model that had been recalled by the manufacturer. Officials investigating if the sprinkler head was indeed recalled, as if verified, the systems would require inspection across a multitude of public facilities, sheriff's offices, and the like. Officials are reporting that an insurance claim regarding the September 17th malfunction will be honored. Sherlock Holmes has arrived and he's searching for an audience. The Art Center of Coastal Carolina is hosting the program Sherlock Holmes, The Final Adventure, now through October 20th. Tickets are $44 for adults and $34 for children. A poll to be conducted simultaneously online and with ballots has begun this month and is sure to impact the future of the Art Center space. The town of Hilton Head has hired an outside consulting group to study the island's taste for publicly funded arts. Cultural Planning Group of Philadelphia has been given an $80,000 contract to conduct a popular opinion poll regarding the public funding of venues such as the Art Center of Coastal Carolina. That poll will run to the end of October. About 250 participants journeyed the three legs of the 30-mile locomotion walk this past weekend. The walk, benefiting Carolina Cups, raised over $50,000 in 2012. Participation was up this year, but fundraising totals have not yet been released. The Violence Policy Center is reporting that South Carolina's rate of 2.54 women killed per 100,000 in 2011 is more than twice the national average and earns the Palmetto State the worst rate in the nation. That rate reflects 61 known deaths following data available from the FBI for crimes where one male kills one female. Solicitor Duffy Stone has done away with a form in the 14th District Court that would allow the victims of domestic violence to quickly rescind charges against their abuser. That form was commonly referred to as a, quote, drop slip. The Community Foundation of the Lowcountry has funded teacher grants from the Foundation for Educational Excellence, totaling over $5,000. 16 teachers around Beaufort County were honored with checks supporting their projects, including 2 Hilton Head High School teachers. John Quindlin will be granted $500 to support a, quote, mentoring for the future program, and Kimberly Smith will use her $500 boost to fund, quote, media arts momentum. Hopefully some of that momentum will find us here at WHHI-TV. Remember, high schoolers, we're always looking for good interns. Good luck to both teachers and students. Up at the high school, Hilton Head football has improved to 5-0 after a stunning upset of Bluffton last week. They utilized a trick play on a 2-point conversion and nicknamed that play Orlando to defeat Bluffton 33-32 in the final seconds.
This one will go down in the annals of Hilton Head High history.
You know, I knew what we were doing. Our kids prepared all week, as I said. They don't give up. I couldn't be prouder of this team. They do it right in the classroom. We have a 3.6 GPA.
That's terrific.
We've done over 150 hours of community service. This team believes and they get it done. I couldn't be prouder.
Make sure you check out a rebroadcast here on WHHI-TV or watch the entire game on our YouTube channel. For more information on these and other stories, please reference the media sources on your screen. And when we come back, Charlie Clark will give us an edge with her business report, while BJ Frazier has his mitts on the hot off the press report. We'll be right back.
I'm here at the top of the Harbortown Lighthouse with Nadia Wagner. She's the lighthouse keeper. Nadia, this is a Hilton Head icon, but many people don't realize it's so much more.
It is, Debbie. The view is so thrilling. Many people don't realize you can climb to the top. We've had many marriage proposals, even weddings. You can shop at the top for gifts you won't find anywhere else and wave to friends and family on our live webcam. It's the high point of the Low Country.
You do not want to miss this view. What's the admission cost, Nadia?
It's only $375 per person, and kids 5 and under are free.
Make this a must-see while you're here on Hilton Head. Thanks, Nadia.
Thank you. See you soon.
Welcome back to the Hilton Head News. Joining me now is our good friend BJ Frazier. What's up, BJ?
Lots of stuff, Kevin.
I like it. Tell us, what's going on? I understand that we have some population growth and some of the stuff that comes with that. What's happening to our phones?
Yeah, the unintended consequences of the explosive growth that we've had both in residences and business in eastern South Carolina, and of course all the cell phones. Everybody has one at least anyway, and some kids have 2 or 3. But what's that going to force us to do is to, we're going to have a new area code probably beginning next year, and what that will mean for the rest of us. The good news is we'll be able to keep our own numbers, and but we'll have to dial 843 in front of every phone we call. So it's going to be a 10-digit number you're going to have to dial all the time. And of course we can program that, but nonetheless it is an additional step. And then once they do this, they predict that this area code will be good for 28 years.
It's something to get used to. We're getting big. That's one of the signs.
That's it.
BJ, I understand that story we were covering about the sprinkler head which malfunctioned at the library. Tell me that somehow we're not going to have to pay for that. What's going on? Well,
it's good news because as we previously reported, the sprinkler heads malfunctioned at the Hilton Head Library and totally destroyed the Friends of Hilton Head Library book collection of some 3,500 books. And the good news is we just learned that the Beaufort County Insurance will cover the damage. Later development, however, is that apparently there's been a recall on the sprinkler heads that were defective. Now, whether or not the county did not reply to it or whatever, we don't know yet, but it's not only in that library. Those same sprinkler heads are in other Beaufort County buildings, so let's get on that.
Yeah, absolutely,
Quick.
BJ. And one more thing that we did cover a little bit in our headlines, the 2013 SAT scores. How did our Hilton Head students perform?
Well, Beaufort County, as collectively, after a 2-year drop, the county students actually bounced back by 47 points. That's the good news. And as we know, SAT scores are used as a measurement to get into college, so that's why they're all important. But they remain about 67 points below the national average, but only 5 points below the public and private average in South Carolina. The actual average now stands for Beaufort County at 1,431. So good news, but still a lot of work to go.
So BJ, when I was but a youngster, I remember they had a scale that was a 1,600 point SAT scale. I understand that number is coming off a bigger scale now. It's 2,400 points?
That's right, exactly. And when I was getting ready for college, they didn't have SATs, so that's how far back I go.
The times they are changing. 9-digit phone numbers and all new SAT scores. BJ, I'm getting there with you. I appreciate your time.
Take care, Kevin.
You too. Joining me now for the Hilton Head Bluffton Chamber of Commerce is the highly esteemed Charlie Clark. Welcome back, Charlie.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Oh, so happy to have you back. So, Charlie, what are your preferred economic indicators, and what do they tell us about the economy of the Low Country?
Well, we look at a lot of different economic indicators. If you can look at hospitality taxes our occupancy tax numbers up, real estate, reinvestment, all those things sort of point to the direction that we're headed in terms of our upcoming economy, what's happening in the economy right now. And if you look at those numbers, for example, accommodations tax are up 5.6% through July. You can look at retail taxes up 4.7%. Those all point to good news for the Low Country and that our economy is in recovery mode and doing well and in a positive direction.
When you say taxes are up, does that mean the rate has been increased or the revenues has increased?
That means there's more of them, quite frankly. That means people are coming, more people are coming, therefore you're getting that higher level, and that's great. That's great for our economy. That makes a big difference.
So what other drivers do we have in the business community?
Well, I think one, for example, obviously would be real estate. And according to the South Carolina Realtors, their report through July, real estate sales for Beaufort County are up 20%. So when you really look at them all together collectively, they kind of paint a picture, a snapshot, if you will, of what's happening in our Low Country economy.
For sure. What does reinvestment mean in terms of attracting visitors to the area?
Well, you know what's interesting is when you have those kinds of numbers, reinvestment, when things are moving in a positive direction, always attracts capital investment. It's sort of that proverbial wheel, which came first. But that capital reinvestment, over $250 million in our area right now, with projects such as the Shelter Cove Town Center, the reinvestment in our hotels, all of that lends itself to bringing in more visitors, and bringing in more visitors lends itself to more in hospitality taxes, more in occupancy taxes, those things that help support our community.
I mean, Charlie, frequent viewers know this. This is the same stuff we talk about all the time. Travel, tourism, and our local economy. How do you think travel specifically impacts the local economy, and where is it going now?
Well, when you're talking about the Low Country Business Report for WHHI, it's impossible to talk about business in the Low Country without the impact of tourism, because it does have a $1.2 billion impact on our community, according to studies done by USCB and others. So it's an important factor in who we are as a destination. It's an important factor of who our economy, what that's all about, and who we are as a community.
Yeah, I mean, it's science. We have increasing tax revenues from volume. Is that what I'm hearing from you too?
Yeah, exactly. Volume brings, obviously, it's a chicken and the egg. About more volume, more visitors bring more support for our Low Country economy, more support for our schools, and more support for the community.
Charlie, thanks for catching up with me. It's always a treat.
Thanks.
When we come back, we'll catch up with a member of the original Brat Pack as Dina Martin sits down with our own Wayne Morris. Nancy Watts is on location. You'll get to find out where. I'm going to sit down with Grant Cully and talk about the Affordable Care Act. Don't go anywhere, Hilton Head. We'll be right back.
Hilton Head Lakes, with the area's most affordable dues and a world-class community, features thoughtfully designed homes with home sites starting from the 180s. 90% financing on waterfront, nature preserve, and golf home sites starting from the 40s. Visit their model park with 5 fully furnished homes, plus see their spectacular lake club, which is nearing completion. Boating, golf amenities center, and the best proximity to all Low Country destinations. Stop by Hilton Head Lakes today.
Welcome back to the Hilton Head News. Dean Martin and the Rat Pack dominated popular culture for decades, and Martin's daughter Dina was there for it all. A singer herself now, Dina has just released her 4th album, and just prior to a live performance at the Jazz Corner last weekend, she sat down with WHHI-TV's Wayne Morris. Wayne?
Well, we are very fortunate to be blessed with the presence of internationally celebrated entertainer Dina Martin. She's in town for a few performances. Dina, welcome to the Hilton Head News.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
And welcome to Hilton Head. Is this your first time in our area?
It is, and it is beautiful, and we've had fantastic weather, so thank you very much.
Great. Well, we're glad you like it and hope you come back soon.
All right.
Now, you're performing locally here at a couple of venues. Tell us about your live act and what you feature in your show.
Oh, it's so much fun. In fact, we're playing at the Jazz Corner, and that was great. Let's see. Well, it's all the great music. It's the Great American Songbook. And of course, I sing quite a few of my dad's songs. And the show is called Dina Sings Dino, which is very fun and appropriate. And of course, I have a lot of the songs off my new album, and that's called Destination Moon, and I'm very excited about it. And actually on this new album, Destination Moon, I sing a duet with my dad.
Wow.
And it's called True Love. Cole Porter wrote the tune. And we located the original handwritten Nelson Riddle arrangement, so I was able to stand in the recording studio holding my dad's sheet music. It said Dean up on it. And when I heard my dad through the earphones, it was overwhelming. But what a thrill for me to be able to sing a duet with him now. And so it was great. So I have that in my show. And of course, you know, just wonderful, wonderful music, a lot of humor. And, you know, it's just a great show.
Yeah, that's great. And I was going to ask you, you know, you've got a book that's being turned into a movie coming out.
Yes,
You
yes.
have a new CD recently released with the duet with your father, which you mentioned. Tell us, you know, you mentioned the CD a little bit. Tell us about the movie and just, God, you're staying busy. We talked to your husband recently too, and he said that y'all are traveling 300 days a year.
It's unbelievable. It's pack, unpack. But you know what? It's so much fun. And every place that we go, the people have been wonderful, especially here at Hilton Head.
Great.
So the book is called Memories Are Made of This, Dean Martin Through His Daughter's Eyes, and we are making it into a movie. Bonnie Hunt, who is absolutely just one of the greatest people, you know, that I know, she's writing the screenplay.
Right.
And Joe Mantegna from Criminal Minds, he's
great.
producing, directing, he's just great. And then Jennifer Love Hewitt is going to play me in the movie.
Awesome.
She's just signed on for that, and I'm very excited. But we're still looking for someone who could play Dean Martin. Gee, you look a little like Dean Martin.
Sign me up. I'll be out there. Real quickly, I got about a minute left. Do you have a quick anecdote or story from your father with the Rat Pack days?
Oh my gosh, there are so many of them. And of course, they're all in Memories Are Made of This. But he was just so wonderful. I need everyone to know that Dean Martin was hysterical. I mean, he was tall, dark, handsome with that gorgeous voice. And for me to go to Las Vegas when I was young and watch him, because you would hear the drum roll. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sands Hotel is proud to present direct from the bar, Dean Martin. And he would walk out, and the audience, I could hear them around me go, ah, there he is. So it was very exciting. But for me, growing up with Uncle Frank and Uncle Sammy and all those incredible stars, it really formed the way that I approach music. And Frank Sinatra gave me my very first singing lesson. So it's all a good thing.
Well, that's amazing. What a unique way to grow up, and you're carrying on the family torch, so that's great.
Yes,
thank
I
you
am.
very much for being with us today. We hope you enjoy your time on Hilton Head, and thank you for taking time to stop in at the Hilton Head News.
Thank you for taking time for me. Thank you. Mwah.
Thank you, Wayne, and thank you, Dina. Joining me now is health insurance expert Grant Cully, the CEO of Harbor Health Insurance Solutions. Grant, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Kevin.
Grant, national politics is being dominated right now by the implementation of Obamacare, especially that new open enrollment for health insurance across the public exchange. That begins this week. What's going on with the individual mandate and these exchanges?
Well, the exchanges are opening tomorrow, Tuesday, October 1st. And a lot of individuals will be going to the exchange to compare what products are out there, what the pricing is, and what companies are actually participating in the exchange. It's going to be a mandate for all individuals to have health insurance by the year 2014, and if not, they could be penalized.
So to get access to one of these exchanges, how do you apply?
Well, there's several different ways of being able to apply. 5 different ways. You can go online and print out an application, fill that out yourself and send it in. You can actually fill out the application online. They do have toll-free numbers that have been set up by the federal government to help individuals go through their application. And they actually have navigators, which are facilitators that are helping individuals go through their application also. The 5th way is, of course, talking to your certified agent and having them give you good advice on what to do.
And you know a little something about that.
I know a little something about that, yes. We can actually help. We can actually guide people through their application process. We can show them the private exchange and the public exchange products, and we can give them advice on what to do.
So basically, people need to understand, depending on what they qualify for through the Affordable Care Act, there are these new federally subsidized insurance pools that, based on their income, I take it, they might be able to access?
Yes, that's right. If you are up to 400% of poverty level, for an individual that's about $44,000 a year, you could receive some federal assistance for your health insurance. Someone in the neighborhood of 150 up to 200% of poverty level is going to have most of their health insurance paid for by the federal government and be subsidized. They'll be able to pick the product that they want, and they'll be able to use that subsidy for that insurance premium.
So even if someone that already has insurance is happy with their plan, they could actually potentially get a reduced cost plan even though they already have insurance.
That is a possibility. They need to look into that. They need to look at what they currently have, compare that to what is available out there and all the different companies to see if they could actually do better than what they're doing now.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers I saw were that only about 25% of potential, people that have health insurance currently, about 65% of them, something like that, can actually access one of these pools. Again, even though they're not necessarily the population being targeted by the Affordable Care Act. Is that correct?
That is very correct, yes. The individuals, there's a lot of individuals that aren't aware of what's going on with the actual mandate and haven't been notified. But insurance companies are going to be available to help them. The brokers are able to help them, and the navigators.
Grant Kelly, Harbor Health Insurance Solutions, thank you so much for coming on and answering my questions.
Thank you, Kevin.
And when we come back, you won't want to miss where we sent Nancy Watts, so set your phasers to pun. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Brown Golf, where playing here has its rewards. Purchase a 20-round package of golf prior to May 1st, 2013, and receive a full day with yours truly. That's 18 holes of golf, 2-hour mini school, and lunch. To purchase that package, go to browngolfmanagement.com. That's browngolfmanagement.com. Now, let's go humble the golf course.
Welcome back to the Hilton Head News. Parents, cover your kids' ears if you don't want them to be exposed to a bad pun, because the Kickin' Asphalt Bike Club had their race last weekend. And if there's pun happening in the Low Country, you know Nancy Watts is there. Nancy?
Hi there, and we're so fortunate to have Mayor Drew Lachlan here to tell us about 350-300.
Well, we are very excited about this. 350 being the 350 years since the island was sighted by Captain William Hilton, and 30 years since the town of Hilton Head Island was incorporated. So this gives us a chance to kind of take stock and recognize people for what they've done over the past 30 years, and culminating in a nice big beach party on Saturday.
It is a big beach party, and you know, if we get a chance to go inside, they have beautiful quilts. I think the Quilt League was here 30 years ago. Where to Go magazine was actually here 30 years ago, if you can believe it. Island Events was here. Several other magazines were here. Lots of good things. I remember when they wanted to call it the town or the city, and they decided on the town, and I think that was a wise choice because we've certainly survived well.
Yes, we have, and you know, if you go in there at the council chambers now, where they're having a little reception and where we're going to have a little program, there's a lot of neat artifacts in there. There's a 1983 telephone book, which looks a lot different than our current one. And there's a slideshow up there depicting all kinds of neat events and things that have happened over the past 30 years.
We're back, and we're talking with Leslie Richardson, who is the chairman of the 350-30 celebration that we're having, that we're talking about today. Let Leslie talk all about it, because it was quite a job, and you did it.
Oh, we've had a ball. Well, I want to tell you, there's been a huge collaboration to create this event. We've had over 50 people who've come together and worked, and that is the exciting thing about the 350-30 event, is that everyone in the community has really stepped up and done a job, which is why it's been so exciting. We're going to have food, we're going to have the headliners in Cranford Hollow, and then we're going to have a descendant of the William Hilton family who's going to fire the Heritage Cannon. The Sea Pines has brought their cannon. The RBC presented by Boeing Cannon will be fired by a descendant of the Hilton family. And then we're going to have an official ceremony. And then everyone who has lived on the island over 30 years is being invited to come to the beach on October the 5th. We're going to take a giant photograph of the beach of everyone who's lived here over 30 years, and then we're going to count it backwards until we get the longest living resident on Hilton Head Island, and we're going to give them a giant reward. So, award. So please come and join us. It's a very exciting event. You can go online and hear all about the events we have going on, and we want everyone there. So thank you, WHHI. A giant shout out to WHHI and all the promotion that you've given us This event is successful. We have a lot of people here today because you spent so much time promoting us. We thank you.
I knew you would be an ambassador for this program. This is wonderful, Leslie. Thank you so much. And back to you, and we thank you. Be sure you make it on Saturday.
Our thanks to Nancy Watts, and thank you for watching. Remember, if you see news happening, be sure to contact the Action News team at WHHI-TV. Hilton Head, we report closer to you and your hairstyle. We're so local, it bothers us when you play your music too loud. So join us next time, and we'll have more Hilton Head news.